Hello, hello. This is Shiva Raja, leader of the Sacred Empire of the House Raja clan under the Church of Hyla from EVE Online, among other places. And this is our House Raja Empyrion server. So today I'm going to showcase my light cruisers. So these are the first ships that I made in my lineup, which use aux and quantum cores. So that is. These are much bigger than my sub-aux, sub-quantum fleet. These are all very specialized ships that kind of max out with the regular cores. These ships require, they require the aux cores and the quantum cores in order to function, with the exception of the Queen Renee here, but I'll come back to that in a minute. And these ships share a I designed them to share a similar internal skeleton and layout, but the interiors will be significantly different, as will the exteriors. So especially on the carrier over there. So the Empress Danibelle is the mainline sort of combat cruiser, and this one is supposed to, it's similar in function to my super frigate or to my regular frigate, and it's an independent multi-role ship, and it's supposed to just be comparable to a Xerax battle carrier, the Camarade, and it's supposed to have a whole bunch of other things, and it can carry some vehicles, and you can fly around and cruise around and do whatever you need to do in this ship. It can issue a beating, it can take a beating. And it's still like the rest of my ships, it's still got kind of an economical exterior, like the composition of it, so it's not too terribly fancy. These aren't the real weapons that would be on it. I'm still in the process of refitting all of my ships to suit RE2. So I don't know what I'm going to put on this ship yet. I haven't even gotten that far yet. But we'll figure that out when we figure it out. So the Empress Moose is a carrier, and I'm still experimenting with it. It would be an SV support platform, but this carrier would be intended for combat. It would just have a very specific role around independent operations to support SVs, and you could also use this perhaps for PvP operations, similar to the Luca the Guide put a video out with a ground invasion using a carrier. So this would kind of be my answer to that. So anyway, that's I don't know where I'm going with that. We'll figure that out when we figure it out. So the Queen Renee is a starliner, or a supply ship, and that's just fancy talk for it's a cargo ship. And this one doesn't require aux cores or quantum cores. It's not a combat ship. You could use it for combat, but it's ultimately a glorified cargo ship. But it's an art project on top of that. So, and you can kind of use this. You could use this with a frigate or the Mihai. And this could just make, I've described the Mihai as the ultimate Minecraft girlfriend ship. So the Queen Renee would be like the part 2 Mihai. So you could use the Mihai on top of this ship and make store extra stuff. And so anyway, I'll go in here and have a look on the inside of this ship in just a second here. Let me switch over to that. Okay, so headed into the interior of the Queen Renee. You've got the main hangar for sort of medium vehicles, and then there's a smaller hangar up here for light light vehicles, and you know, you could convert that into more cargo space or whatever. Same thing with here. I'm using this as a sort of workshop at the moment. You know, farms. I might turn that into a greenhouse. I don't know. That's the theme of this ship. Lots of plants, lots of greenery. There's the SV portrait of the Queen Renee. So you've got you know, restrooms out here and your shrine room lounge. And then around this way you've got the passenger hall, and these rooms are for, you know, maybe 2 passengers, maybe a couple or something. And there's 24 of these rooms, I believe. So, and then over this way you've got this is the one of the 2 sort of casual bar lounge areas for the passengers. And then there's airline style seating, and they've got restrooms over here as well. And you know, there's enough seats in this whole ship. The capacity of this ship is should be well in excess of 300 people, probably closer to 330 or so passengers. Could aboard this ship. So up here you've got the sort of nicer 4-person, maybe family-sized rooms up here. These are access routes to get to the top of the ship. We've got a forward sort of piloting area with the core, just for convenience. Restrooms. And then down here you've got the forward bar lounge area for the passengers. So there's lots of space around for hanging out. Everybody's can relax, watch television. You know, they can read books. You know, have a nice little private chat over here. There's extra restrooms with storage containers. And then down here, this is what the ship is really for. So you've got your cargo areas, and I think there's at least six 640s going on over here. So there's probably, I know there's more, and then there's some harvest controllers as well. So there's some 320s. And like I said, more could be added in this area. This is another convenience piloting area. It leads back up to here. So lots of ways for all of your passengers to get around. So anyway, I'll go up to the rear of the ship. The front is for regular passengers, and then the sort of rear area is for VIPs and you know, crew. So that's just a little technical area. This is for like personal staff of the Emperor, personal guards, staff members, attendants, whatever. If the Emperor or whatever other VIP happens to be on the ship. Then here you've got sort of smaller side VIP rooms. They've got their own restroom, shower, you know, closets, and there's 4 of these rooms. In the rear you've got the engineering room, which I especially love. I tried to make this look quite a bit like the Titanic, or like the SS United States, those ocean liner type things, but you know, more futuristic and so forth. You've got your shield generator here. You've got different access routes to get around, and then up over here, these are the backup generators. So anyway, engines, plasma turbines. It's a good look. And then you've got your regular main generators on the sides, standard to all of my ships. So, and then here you've just got like an engineering kind of control center, computer room type vibe. And then all the way down here, you've got the airlock to get in and out of this side. You know, I can, you know, if you're on the ground, this is another good spot to get in. This is the sort of engineering control, you know, if you need to get to fuel and stuff like that. This area is my standard sort of crew spot that you're gonna find this on just about every ship that I make. It's got everything you need in it, and this is for you know, refrigerators and keeping food stored for the passengers and so forth. And this is for like flight attendants and cargo handlers. So going back up here, you've got the Imperial suite for the Emperor or whatever other dignitary might be aboard the ship. They've got their own restrooms, shower, desk. Down here you've got their sleeping quarters for the Emperor and his 21 consorts. So, oh, there's one of them. Hello. There's another one. Hello, how are you doing? So anyway, that's the Imperial suite. Up here you've got the captain's quarters. Serves as another backup bridge. We've got the admiral's quarters. Private restroom. Nice little spot in here. Here you've got the crew quarters for the ship control people. The captain doesn't have his own restroom, unfortunately, so he'll have to use that one. You'll have to work on that. This is the lounge for the VIPs. They've got, you know, good little spot, nice little bar here. And this wraps around over into another lounge area that they can hang out at. It's got good views. It's good. They can take a little nap here. They've got their own restrooms. And then this elevator goes back down to those 4 VIP suites. And then up here at the top, you've got the main bridge, pretty standard for most of the ships that I make. This one's just a little bit bigger, but it's very similar to my destroyers and so forth. So you can kind of have a look around at the Queen Renee and the other light cruisers here. And then, of course, in the rear you've got the emergency vehicle hangar for escape and so forth, and the side exit. So anyway, that's the Queen Renee, and the interior is pretty much done. There's a little bit more left to do on the top. And that's my light cruiser set. So anyway, I hope you enjoy, and I'll catch you around. Have a very good day.